hello, hello, hello. Welcome. For those of you who are new, welcome everybody that are joining today. And I hope to connect with many of as many of you as I can through this interesting time, this interesting energy that we are in. So I'm going to just give it a few minutes, a few seconds for everyone to come on to the chat before I begin. I don't really have an agenda, so to speak. Hi, Dustin. There really isn't like a specific topic. Personally, I'm kind of feeling a little, not scattered. That's not the right word. There's been a shift. Many of us can feel it. Many of us have sensed it, especially those of us who are very sensitive to energy. And I also feel that the Mercury retrograde has really had a huge impact on me this time. Mercury has moved direct, station direct yesterday, but we also have that post shadow phase. And I find that to be when the trickster energy revs back up one last time. Like, let's give it one more shot to, hi, Darren, to see if you've been paying attention. Hi, Amy. How are you? How is everybody doing, by the way? Before I even jump into what's been brewing in me, just tap in and check in on all of you guys. What's going on? What's everybody feeling? What's everybody experiencing? If you want to share, because I am. Let me actually get my space. We have these beautiful flowers. We do have flowers blooming, but it got cold here again. Hi, Lisa. So let's start with the trickster energy. Dustin is feeling optimistic and grateful. Good. I mean, I'm definitely holding that frequency and that energy as well. It just, I don't want to complain, but I noticed today specifically after I came to an understanding of what I must shift and change in my life dynamic, that all of those things that had been actually taking energy from me or testing me, what I've been placing my energy and time and focus in is not in alignment with me anymore. And that happens when we go through these shifts. We find like we change and we evolve and we discover that certain things just are not lining up for us. They don't feel in alignment. If it feels like it's taking from you, hi Jess. If it feels like it's taking from you, that means that's usually an indicator that it's time to pivot. It's time to focus on where are you best able to use your energy to your benefit as well as others. Let's see here. Darren's feeling very peaceful and very hopeful and very light. Amazing. Amy, Mars is transiting my natal sign currently. Felt so irritable yesterday. Took me hours to shake it off. I'm telling you, this Mars in Cancer is really affecting me as well in a big way. And it's interesting because it's the Capricorn energy or the Saturn energy, what I'm picking up, that has been really pulling at me. And in order to resolve anything from a certain astrological energy, you look to the opposite. So I continuously go to the Cancer, which is where Mars is, the mother, the nurturing. But yeah, Mars in Cancer is definitely very frustrating. I will say that. I will agree. I agree with that 100%. I actually felt good this time around, says Jess, more aware of myself and no longer making excuses that hold me back. Good. And this is what I'm discovering too. Yes, holding us back. And these are things that may not even logically had come in our awareness until these transits that we are passing through. And when I've just noticed for myself personally, there are certain things that I used to be able to just naturally do. And a lot of these things were things I could naturally do to earn money. And it takes from me. It takes from me. And the other aspect, this part of me has been growing and evolving and changing and expanding so much. I mean, the reader, psychic, intuitive part of me, that I have got to honor it and not fall back into old Capricorn, old structures, old Saturn, old ways. It doesn't work for me anymore. It actually physically makes me like I'll either get a really bad knot in my stomach or a bad headache, or like it'll physically start to affect me. And it's really difficult because actually, it's not difficult. It's really not difficult. Take that back. Our minds make it difficult. Our habitual patterns, our old ways of being, especially, I want to look at the Taurus aspect for a minute. Our sense of feeling safe and grounded and, again, nurtured, financially stable, physically stable, all of those things. And who is in Taurus? Jupiter. Jupiter is expanding a lot of these things. I found this energy in how I'm operating when I'm doing readings, when I'm having sessions, one-on-one sessions. And it's expanding, it's growing, it's evolving. It's actually, I realized that I've been playing it very, very small. And there was an aspect of me that was either humbled a bit too much, or I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know that there's a lot of changes that I'm in the midst of making and deciding very carefully, very carefully deciding what stays and what goes, right? I feel like that's what many of us are experiencing right now in many different aspects. See, a lot of this Pisces energy, Saturn, Mercury, Venus, North Node. For me, it falls in my 6th house of service, of what I put out there. Also, my health. It's interesting that when I'm doing something that is no longer in alignment with me, it affects me physically. It physically is painful or uncomfortable. So everybody's got a different experience here with these transits, but just know that wherever it is hitting you, whatever area of life it's hitting you, you'll know what doesn't feel right anymore. It's very obvious, right? Just headache for the last 2 days. Not sure if it's the energy or low pressure system that came in. Amy, even waking up around 3 or 4 a.m. feeling wired. The sun is very active too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not just the sun. Well, I've noticed lately, I stopped even paying attention because it was just constant solar activity, Schumann resonance activity, earthquakes, definitely intense weather patterns, and feeling and experiencing collective energy here in the United States. And I don't really know, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on outside of this country right now. But Saturday, there was a nationwide protest that was pretty huge, across the country. And which is beautiful for people to actually have a voice and stand up. I felt that. I wasn't able to participate in any of that stuff because I have my grandson, which is amazing. You might hear him downstairs running around. I stayed back with the children, and it felt very right for me as well. Lisa, I can't figure out which way is up or down. Yeah, I know. Dustin, I love the symbolic ways the universe speaks. I've been visualizing on manifesting a new chapter in my life, and just 10 minutes ago, an adjuster was assigned to my car crash case. Her name is Genesis. Oh, I love that. Amy, Neptune, New Age. Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. Uh-huh. Dustin, first chapter of a pretty popular book. Yep. Oh, there's been incredible things that have opened up, and synchronicities. Hi, Martin. Don't get me wrong. I've been flying high on that for a while. I just happened to notice today that, what goes up must come down to a degree. I noticed today when I finally made a commitment to myself of I'm no longer going to be participating in certain things or doing things a certain way, that's when it all comes flying at me. Like, I need you to do this. What are you going to do? Like, it's like hitting that button, and I'm just like, I'm so tired of all these tests. I'm so tired. But actually, that's an indicator of a big shift, and I don't have to react or respond to any of it. I can actually take it very lightly and have a sense of humor about it. But the universe is speaking very loudly to us all of us, for sure. That's right. Write it down, Dustin. So I wanted to, I was sitting here today, and it's funny because I had actually made a promise to myself today that I was going to take the day off and really start to clear away. I spent Sunday, we had an amazing turnout for our psychic fair at Solace Farms, and I was booked solid the whole day. Didn't take enough time to really clear all that energy off of me or away from me like I should have, because by the time I got home, I was so tired and hungry, and I know better. I was so tired and hungry that I ate, and I fell right to sleep. And then yesterday, Monday, I took my salt bath, but I still feel like an energetic hangover just from that. So between the collective energy on Saturday, and then doing back-to-back multiple readings Sunday, which were incredible, it just takes such a toll. And it's like, we've got to take time to have energetic hygiene. I know this very, very much. Yay, we are all connecting. So the sensitivities are, at least for me, at an all-time high once again. And not just myself. I have other friends that are definitely super sensitive and to the energies right now. I mean, we're all sensitives anyway. But we've noticed, and we had a conversation last night and recognized that what is actually causing the sensitivity is the energetics or the energies we've placed ourselves in or participated in that are not in alignment with where we are energetically now. And not to say that anything's good or bad, it's just like when the body speaks, you got to listen to it. And the body is the last part to speak. So there's been red flags, there's been bells and whistles. I've noticed them already, and just kind of kept going out of curiosity. And now it's like, bam, if I continue going in a certain direction, I will regret it. I saw a double rainbow here after meditation, after calling in the Venusian Council of Light. It was a beautiful sign. We have so much support. Thank you for sharing that, Amy. Yes, that is such a great experience. And yes, again, we can flip it to the positive because, oh my, Neptune in Aries and all this Pisces energy is bringing out all of the angelic, everything. And it's just showering down on us supportive energy. We are so supported and needed for just holding light in this time and space that we are all in on this planet, in this experience here. And so hold that light. And no matter who or what tries to take it from you or bring you down, even if it does for a moment, you know that you can stand right back up. We've got this amazing support. I wish we could have all been there to see it too. I had an experience on Friday. I was sitting on my porch and I was just looking out into the woods, and there's this family of deer that walk through around sunset, just before the sun setting. And they have their routine, their path. And I noticed that one deer just was grazing and then just laid down. I could only see her head. And I knew that's not normal. And so I knew she was either pregnant and in labor or she was injured. And all the other deer came and formed a circle around her. And then they are all staring at me. And I'm like, you're safe, you're good. And then they continued going and grazing. And about 30 minutes later, she got up and she started walking and grazing with them. And I said, oh, she's pregnant. This new birth, right? And this was very symbolic for me too. It was so beautiful, and the sun is setting. And then they started to walk off because there's a field on the other side of my woods. And I thought that's probably where she's going. Either she's just tired or she's in labor. Then they came back and she laid down again, and the deer did the same thing. They all formed a circle around her. And I was just like, this is the most incredible thing ever. Of course, I had a friend that was on her way over, and I'm texting her. I'm like, be really quiet when you get here because something is going on right in front of me, about to. And they did end up getting up and leaving. So, but what I kept receiving was, she feels safe to lay down in your backyard while you're watching her. And if she actually was about to give birth, she felt safe enough to do that. And I was just like, oh. And, I have a pregnant mama downstairs too, my daughter-in-law, who my granddaughter will be due next month. So there is all this new birth, new energy, new birth, beautiful, beautiful energy that I feel, sense, and know. And I'm so grateful for all of the newness that has activated and has been gifting me through this passage. And so now it's, for me, a cleanup phase of what I cannot take with me on this newness of me, this newness of where universe is, wherever it is taking me, because I think we're all still at a phase where we know that we are headed towards where our heart is linked to, our heart and soul. We can see all of the previews and the signs and the synchronicities, yet it's still a little misty and foggy as to how, when, why. And that's the beautiful part of this journey, is like, get out of the way. You don't need to know how, when, why. You're being gifted with, it's happening right now. It is happening. So allowing, that energy of allowing, and that gratitude, the energy of gratitude, feeling grateful for everything. really helps. It not only helps us just emotionally, mentally, and energetically, but it helps things along as the energies are shifting and morphing and moving. Um, so let's get some cards. I'm really feeling called to. I haven't pulled from this deck in a while. The Muse. See what messages come out for us. Another thing with the Mercury retrograde, and I find it really interesting, technology glitches like crazy. Not just technology, like a lot of technology, not receiving phone calls or voice messages or text messages until days later. Just like I was just downstairs and Natalie bought a new TV remote and it won't work. I'm putting batteries, like things, trying to figure out. Our website on Solace Farms is cutting everything off. Everything got reformatted. You know, those kinds of weird things. That's like the Mercury post shadow, but it's been happening throughout the whole Mercury retrograde for sure. Yes, my phone's been driving me nuts, says Jess. Darren says getting prank calls. uh, Dustin Rakesh passed the vibe check months ago. He said, oh. Yeah. Thank you, moderators. Let's all just thank the moderators here for keeping this chat room and this space safe. I appreciate and love you all. Thank you so much for your diligence. I love it. I love you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think for me, I don't have anything to complain about, but I wanted to talk about the trickster energy because it just keeps showing its face to me all the time. I'm still not getting my mail either. And now every time I call the post office and they ask the address, they're like, oh yeah, like they know me. It's something in their computer system though that glitched. Mercury retrograde. What is the first message that we want to give us? Give us all. The star. The star shining bright. I'm hearing shine your light. We're still going through some healing, but ultimately I feel like we've crossed this threshold from just, I'm hearing chronic healing, which, you know, actually for most of the journey, most of us were focused on, oh, I got to heal that. I got to heal that. I got to heal this. And now it's like, we've purged, we've released, we're crossing this threshold where we can shine our light bright because it's needed. It is so needed. Seeing all the beauty, all the hope, everything that is leading us into the light. You may be actually speaking to the stars, bathing in the stars. But that's a lot of crown and third eye activity going on. Oh yeah, and that's been extremely strong. Let's see here. Rakesh, sorry, brother, I get trigger happy when comments seem off topic. I will get it next week, Darren. Okay. It's my old apartment complex felt about me when I would walk into the office. Where do they send your mail? That's a good question. Well, I had received a phone call from um, a government office actually saying that they sent me something in the mail and it got returned to them. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. And I thanked them. And they needed me to verify my address, blah, blah, blah. So then I called. And you know what? I knew this was a trick, so I wasn't even angry anymore. About a month or two ago, I would have been like, that's enough, or just some kind of tension. But this time I'm like, everybody's been very helpful in trying to figure out what is going on. And I think we came to the conclusion that something reformatted in the United States Post Office in their sorting programs. And because this address is actually 2 units, apartment A and B, it's a whole family that lives here, but it's split into 2 homes. If it doesn't have the apartment A or B on the address anymore, it used to not be this way. It gets kicked out of the system and it gets sent back to people. So that we figured out yesterday, me and the postmaster. I should work there, right? All right, back to the star. This is beautiful energy, and I'm really picking up that, yeah, we've done a lot of growth, a lot of healing, maturing, spiritual maturity as well. So that these silly little human things, playing this silly human game, don't set us off anymore. Of course, we're going to get triggered every now and then, but it's not going to take us to where it once did. There is hope. I'm not even saying hope. I am honed in. I am in the future me. I am embodying it. Embodiment in the body. Ooh. And I'm drawn to the pattern of this card as well. Pattern recognition, big, recognizing our patterns. Slowing down just enough to pay attention to all the little things. Everything. Everything is speaking to us in so many ways. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. That's right. I love that, Amy. I love that. Yes. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. And we are needed. There are many, many going through their dark night at this time. And once they get into and I know this because I'm there. I'm meeting them and reading for them and trying to assist them. When they're at a space, when they're ready, when they turn into the next aspect of the journey, being the seeker, seeking the light. They don't have to look very far because our light shines bright. We are all here for each other. We are all connected. There's no judgment. And that's what I'm also getting with the star, that maturity. Not judging another on their journey, remembering and recognizing where we once were in consciousness. Especially, you can have an elevated state of consciousness, but if you're not fully aware of all your patterns, all your shadow, you will continue to get triggered. Especially, this new energetics is no joke. This new energy is not just calling for, it is, you've got to be fully present and authentic. Authenticity. Because any aspect of ourselves that is not authentic or in alignment with us, we are not only going to feel it, get the pushback, it's going to be extremely challenging and difficult. And I feel like what the star card is saying is that we're up. We've been up against the challenges all along. Beacon of light, I'm hearing. Beautiful. Now we have the Two of Inspiration with the Hermit. I don't know about you guys, but I know myself and many others that I work with and do hold space for in my friend circle, energetic circle, have been going through many periods where we'll put ourselves out there, but then it's time to come back in and do that processing. Everything that we experience when we leave our homes, or even just throughout our day-to-day, even if you don't leave your home, it's important to take that time to process the Hermit, what we experienced and what actually was speaking to us between the lines. You know, there's so much energy that's moving so fast now that it does require us to kind of stop and go within our day-to-day and just sit with and allow all of those messages to really filter through, channel through between our conversations with people or our experiences, and all the ways that our guides, the universe, all the ways the mirroring is happening all over the place. And it's really helping us to get a much better idea, maybe as to where we're headed. Two of Inspiration. She has a telescope out. She is looking ahead through this hole. And behind the hole almost looks like the sun. So I feel like along with the solar flares, the sun's activity, the solar activity that's really activating us either in our daytime, nighttime, all around. It's speaking to us. Our consciousness is getting a boost, an elevation. Balance is required. Authenticity and alignment is mandatory. Love and forgiveness is law. That's right, says Dustin. Amy, has anyone ever been woken out of a sleep because they heard a crash of thunder in their dream? Ooh, I have. Now, I don't know if it was thunder, but yeah, a loud sound, and it actually didn't happen. It happened in the dream. That's happened to me. Not recently, but oh, wow. Dustin did last night. That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, many of us, for me personally, the Hermit is a requirement. And I've noticed that I've changed my day-to-day, I've noticed how my daily schedule had become very routine and rigid, and it doesn't need to be. So I switch things up, and when I need, like today was supposed to be my day of downtime, but don't you know, like towards the end, I ended up doing some creative work and other things, but it all ended up being good. But I did get tested then. So I'm like, I told myself I was taking this day for myself, and I didn't all the way. And when I didn't, it wasn't so peaceful anymore. So I had to take a good look at myself there. And I do see it. I see it very clearly. Be careful what you wish for. Okay. So it's like the universe, like we get into alignment, we're in alignment, And then our old patterns, here we go, the juggling, our Mars, that Mars energy. I need to do something. I got to do something. Do. That's still very active, Mars and Cancer. And when we do that, we start to be pulled out of alignment. And you start to recognize, like, I actually went against something that I promised myself today. Or, you know, however, take it how it resonates for you. Eight of Materials is too many balls in the air, juggling, multitasking, doing too many things at once. Balls are going to drop. I have someone really close to me, and I'm not going to like go into the detail of how, but she's going through a deep grief process right now, a death. And I was with her yesterday, spent time with her, and she was in bed. And it's very real, it's very raw. And I noticed, I witnessed in her the struggle. I should be doing, I got to get up. Why can't I get up? Why can't I need to be checking my email and doing something. I'm like, you are going through the grief process. This is very raw, very real. You cannot push yourself through this and get up and just get on with life right away. But that freaking Mars energy, that program, that was activated in her, in me, in us all. It's hard to just sit. There's the cardinal. Hard to just sit with our emotions, our feelings, ourselves. That's what's changing. That's definitely what's changing with me. Even though I did kind of go against it today, I got a good like smackdown. Like, that's, you gave yourself the day and you didn't take the day to yourself. That's me, says Jess. Never can just sit down and be still. Darren says only human. And Jess, sorry to hear that. There has been a lot of deaths lately. Amy, we learn to have patience with others, but we never learn to have patience with ourselves too. Yeah. And I have actually been being more patient with myself and giving myself grace, because this pattern recognition that I'm definitely honed in on is pretty profound. Dustin, the pause teach us the power and importance of pause. Yes. I'll just tell you, it's my sister. My sister had to put her dog down that she had for 16 years. And it's deeper than just the dog. That was a very deep spiritual, even, whether she knows it or not, connection, attachment to something that she was very, very, very attached to. And, you know, poor, you guys know, I've dog sit Kylie so many times, and Kylie is now with the Angels across the Rainbow Bridge on Saturday, just out of the blue. It was quite dramatic and traumatic for my sister. And it's going to, just trying to tell her to honor the grief process. Because she's like, what's wrong with me? I can't get over this. I just want to feel better. And I'm like, you will. But you got to like sit with, you've got to go through this grief process. And I could see me in her, like the old me in her that just wanted to, I got to do stuff. The double rainbow bridge. That's right, Dustin. Jess, oh, Amy and I had a recent death. One of our old bosses passed away, and it just really hits hard. Have to live life to the fullest, whatever that means for the individual. That's right. Is that the dog you watch sometimes? Yes. Yep. Rest in peace, Kylie. And my niece, she's taking it better. I mean, we're all sad. We all love. Kylie's been with us for 16, almost 17 years. And my niece, she's 13 now. she said to me, I feel like she's here. And I said, she is. Like, she's curious now because she's also had her grandmother die last month. And she's had two profound deaths in the last month, my niece. And she's very psychic. She's also very busy. But when she gets tapped back in, she's starting to really put two and two together and feel and see and sense these things. And I'm glad that she can look to me to just confirm her experiences, you know? Yes. Yes, Ella lived her whole life knowing and loving Kylie. Yep. Yep. So, just witnessing that, you know, that need to like do and check your email, like what, you know, but that's human. That's the human condition. And I was glad to be there to kind of stop her, put her back into bed. All right. Overall, we have the Tower below, but we're talking about the Muse of Emotions. This is, how do we want to say? When we get to the Muse card in this deck, this is a profound state of, and you can't go back. Once you know, right? Of emotional awareness, emotional intelligence. And they're drinking from the cup. It's a mirror. They're back to back, which is so interesting. But as she drinks from the cup of life, the emotions, as she takes in all of the emotional experience, there's waves of emotional energy that are emanating out. We've got to get comfortable with this. The good, what we would call good and bad, which is just a feeling, the way it feels. That's why we say good or bad, because it either feels good or it doesn't feel good, right? The Tower, big changes. I've been getting 555 has been a big number, Dustin, you know, for me since Sunday, and that's been reoccurring and reappearing for me. Ace of Materials below that, new beginning, new opportunity, fresh new start. And how do we get to the fresh new start? Something's got to give, right? Something's got to crack. Something changes. A lot of times life will crack us open to realize we've got to change in order to have a new start. If we keep staying in this repetitive, and it's so interesting, back to Kylie, because I watched her a lot, and she was in transition for a good year and a half, just in and out of consciousness on her own. And she would go around in circles all the time. Now, we can logically make a session. We can logically say, you know, whatever biologically is causing that. And then she would get herself stuck in furniture, under chairs, in corners. She would always go to a corner. And it was speaking to me loudly about either me or, you know, my sister and her family, of how we go around and around. We're just in this routine all the time. Round and round we go, over and over and over again, and then we get stuck, or we find ourselves in a corner, not able to go forward because we haven't moved out of that vicious cycle of just constantly doing, right? Do. We all know. We all get the Tower every now and then. It's you know, we get a forced stop, a forced rest, a forced move, a forced shift. But it's important that we honor the emotions that are tied to the experiences, because that is the driving force. That is our energy. That is our power. You know, breaking new ground, says Amy. Yes, big changes emotionally and physically. Can't wait. You know, it's here. I don't think we're waiting for really much. Yes, there are still some lingering energies, of course, that we have to allow to play out before this big move or shift or change fully opens. But most of us are getting those sneak previews. Sneak previews, interesting, as to the potentials that are already ready for us, because we live in this quantum energetics of potentials and possibilities. And what has been activated within us is also activated in the quantum field. So calling it in, whatever it is for you, calling it into that next experience, that next big change. Let's go with the light seers. Yeah, and there's big changes here too. I now have my son and grandson and daughter-in-law below me, and a new granddaughter on the way, and all kinds of new creative. And here's the thing about the creation, the creative juices. When I did allow myself some space and time to just myself and cleared my energy field so that nobody else was in my mind, in my energy, because sometimes you get like a text or a phone call and then it's like, wah, 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 that energy stays there. Cleared it all away. And I went out and did a couple things, but mostly just for me. And it was all for me, because I meant to take today for me. And when I got home, I was just feeling really happy and really peaceful in this energy. And then, well, actually, as I was driving, because it happens a lot when I'm driving, these big ideas, just even an idea of something that I can offer at Solace Farms this month, like snap, boom, even the image of like how I was going to make the creative and everything. And so when I got home, I executed it. Not right away. I sat with it like, is this what it felt right? Felt good. So those creative juices are there. The creation, our right brain, feminine energy, when we allow this space and time with ourselves, you'd be amazed at what kind of brilliant ideas, what brilliant creations, just or versions of you that are very, how do we say, expressive of your authentic self arise without interruption from anybody or anything outside of ourselves. So a lot of us have been given this time and space to sit with our energy and allow the creative juices to really flow. Tell us more about the star. Anything else? The lovers. Ooh, this moon in Libra coming up. Full moon in Libra on the 12th. This is big for anybody that is having experiences in their relationships. It does not have to be a lover, but it's definitely in the realm of healing our relationships or our relationship patterns from the past or your current relationships. Big, big, big. And for some, that's the energy of knowing, like, who can stay in your energy field, or like who you can welcome into your energy field, and who you've got to keep at an arm's distance, or what relationship is it's past its expiration date and it's causing physical pain, emotional, mental pain. Everybody's different, but this is the time. It's like, time's up. You are seeing all the truth now. You're seeing nothing is hidden anymore. What do you choose to go forward with? Amy said, I'd rather keep to myself now anyways until Mars moves out of my sun sign. It isn't pretty sometimes. Mars and Cancer. Mars, yeah, is in my 4th house. Cancer. No, 10th house. I always get the Cancer, Capricorn in my houses backwards for some reason, but 10th house. And I am feeling it. The frustration, the anger of how people want me to do things a certain way, and it goes against my energy field. It goes against the newness of how I operate, more in Pisces energy with the flow. And that energy of Mars and Cancer coming from others, reading off an old version of myself, wants everything very structured. I have got the Gregorian calendar. I want everything. I want to know everything all the way up until months from now. And my brain is like, I can't even think about tomorrow right now. No, it's really not. It can be scary, actually. We do get to say goodbye to those versions of ourselves if we choose. I know that there's definitely a shift. There's choices that must be made to shift that, to move that. And so we look to Capricorn. Maybe what needs to change within the Capricorn house, or what Capricorn has to offer us. For me, I'm fighting against Capricorn right now. The energy, I'm not fighting anybody, but like my energy field is like not fighting either. It's resisting. It's like, no more. No more. That's the old way. Capricorn's a beautiful energy, but the old school Capricorn energy, for me and my personal experience anyway, is kind of like a two-sided coin, as they all are. There's 2 sides to the coin with all of the zodiac archetypes. And it just kind of falls in line with the old rigid structures, systems, and authorities. And when it's really brewing in the shadow side, or in that side of it, my pattern recognition is that I just up and bolt and I'm standing, holding my space, my energy, holding the light. I don't need to fight anything. I just need to continue to allow, we need to continue to allow the light to shine through us. Anyone here born on a full moon? My son was, but I wonder if anybody here knows if they were born on the full moon. And the full moon really aggravates my son because he just gets so overstimulated and can't sleep. And it's interesting. He's always been that way. The Chariot. Uh-huh. Well. Death. Okay. This is really just reiterating the whole message, but going back to the relationships for some people, and again, doesn't even have to be, the Venus energy, Libra. There are certain relationships that may even mimic old relationships or old pattern dynamics that are no longer in operation in us. And so we're finally seeing, like, I used to operate that way, but I can't. I won't. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. I don't resonate with that any longer. And it's not about changing someone else or anybody else. It's about making the decision to move ahead, after some careful, sitting with self and with spirit, really getting to tap into everything that spirit has been showing us. And that really allows us to move forward here. Going back to all the work, right? All the work, all the juggling. And we have this assistance now. Whether it's a person, I do have supportive, and I always like to go back to my experiences with the cards come out, but take it as it resonates. Or spiritual assistance in these birds, these crows, interestingly enough, or ravens, however you want to see it, which are messengers, are pulling her along some really wavy waters, emotions. These messengers are helping her move to a calmer state of being emotionally, maybe even to shore. So this can be very spiritual. Your spiritual guides, your higher self is assisting with the mind, while the emotions, the watery, wavy emotions, have been rocking the boat for quite some time. But somehow that's tied to all the stuff that we do, multitasking, juggling. It's time to stop that. It's time to knock that off. What I'm picking up. Hi, Violet. I ghosted all of them because of that. Darren, forward in peace and love. Sometimes I don't recognize the patterns, but you always help me out. Thank you. It's hard to recognize them when you're in it emotionally. It takes it takes a little while to finally cross that threshold to, like, really see, oh, I see what the universe is showing me. It takes away the blame and the projection, us against them, and it kind of cleans the slate, the playing board, the game board here. And it actually brings us eventually to a state of gratitude. You can actually be grateful for all of the people that played a very unique, specific parts in our lives to help usher us along into our highest timeline with love and peace, which is what I really see here. Death at the bottom, transformation, death and rebirth. And I've been seeing a lot of that in the physical, both death and birth, heavily. So it's just constantly speaking to me, reminding me that this is a very huge transformational time. What I have, like, for the last 2 weeks, it's been unbelievable how many, some of us call them buzzards, turkey buzzards. They're these giant black hawks that, fly around, and they eat the roadkill and dead animals. They're a sign of transformation. They have been following me for 2 weeks now. So many of them in pairs, and they're doing these dances, these swirls. And I'm like, I see you. They're like, just remember, this is a highly transformative time, big time. And don't try to figure it out logically. Just keep swimming in this energy, this beautiful energy that we're in. The Starseed Oracle is calling me very heavily right now. We're still in eclipse energy. It's very interesting. I actually just had a few epiphanies while doing these readings for myself as to the dynamics of some of that frustrating trickster energy. I mean, it is a good thing. Nothing is ever bad. It's always here to help us. Depends on how you're perceiving it, right? What is the message you have for us all? Thank you. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm getting a big download right now just by looking at this card. It is the card called. We are being called. I don't think any of us can deny that our soul is calling us in a direction. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. And I know it for sure. And that step up really actually means we've already stepped up, but we've got to like let all of the old fade away. Pisces energy, fade away and open up for a new. You guys, this is reminding me of the pyramids, actually. Have you been paying attention to what has been discovered and uncovered when it comes to the pyramids so far through some kind of new technology, radar or something, that the pyramids are sort of like an iceberg. Like you can see the tip of the iceberg, but there's so much more going on beneath the surface. And it remained it was unknown until just recent. And this is going to happen with many other things in this year into next year too. So it's exciting. Personally, I think their batteries, says Amy. Yeah, there's definitely an energetic, I feel like there's a lot of different things going on there. But yeah, batteries for what? I think we're going to get a glimpse as to what that energy was meant to really charge. That's not of this planet, or we think is not of this planet. Anyway, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I wanted to say how interesting is it, the depth and the intricacy that lied beneath the pyramids. And that's just the beginning. I'm hearing the tip of the iceberg. That's just the beginning of what we are going to be discovering. It's exciting for sure. These breakthroughs are going to change again, shift the consciousness of human beings on this planet, and realize and recognize. And then they're bringing up Atlantis, Lemuria, or Mu, all of these things that status quo likes to call a myth into reality. The realization of the truth that has been hidden from humanity for thousands of years. The game that Oz was playing, the curtain is being pulled back. And that realization for many is shocking but necessary. And so for us, we are being called into the chamber of something, our soul's chamber, soul gifts. It's time to tap into them. Let's see what you guys are saying. Amy, so important for our ecosystem. Oh, we're talking about the buzzards. Their stomachs are so powerful, they destroy all harmful bacteria and viruses. They help protect us in that way. That's good to know because they follow me. They're speaking to me. All the wildlife and birds speak to me all the time, but this has been a very specific and particular messenger that maybe I haven't spent enough time kind of decoding the message. Yeah, Amy thinks they're batteries. Dustin says 2 kilometers deep. We not only need to answer the calling, but the calling is the answer to all the questions. Yeah. We are not alone. Amazing stuff, says Darren. Yep. The galactic center. The pyramids nourished us on all levels. Yeah. Exciting times, right? It really is. I'm so happy to have this tribe, this soul family here with me, because we are all pretty much right there in the same wave and wavelength of what is going down. And let's see what it says in the book. So much. You know, I traveled to Mexico a lot over the years, and I reflect back on, and most of it was for scuba diving. That's my passion. There were 2 different times that I really wanted to go visit the Mayan pyramids and other things. And the guy, the fiance I had at the time, did not, resisted that. Of course, obviously, we never got married, thankfully. But I got pulled away from that experience. Not that I can't do it still, but I'm thinking about well, that's interesting, because it was something I wanted to do, but then I was like, okay, well, we'll just go diving instead. Happy to be here with you guys, Darren. There is stuff buried in Ireland too that I felt called to. I was at various locations. Oh, I'm sure there's stuff buried everywhere. It's exciting. It really is. And now that there are, there's always people with that scientific archetype of discovery, and they have very specific equipment now designed to get an image of what's under the ground instead of digging and interfering with the earth, which is, I'm sure that once they discover things, they will be digging them up. They have been. But it's just so exciting. It's so exciting. So called. You came to earth with a double mission: to grow as a soul and to bring about a shift in consciousness. The best way to fulfill these personal and collective purposes is to trust what it is that your soul is calling you toward, for it's encoded within the most direct path forward. Your soul has many unique gifts that it came here to share. Some of you may already be aware. Others, you're just beginning to uncover. You're being called to remember that your soul intelligently chose the perfect conditions to carry out your soul's mission and share your soul's gifts. If you're being called towards a creative project, a passion, or an adventure, this card is your confirmation that you're facing the right way and that this moment right here is destined. If you're feeling underprepared or thinking, who am I to do that? This card is guiding you to step up and take a leap. And consider perhaps that your soul has been training for this moment right here for lifetimes. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. And it also begins with a lot of the things that have been coming through me that I had been containing, such as specific chantings and melodies and songs. And I have been connected with my good friend Krista, who we already do sound healing sessions with people at Solace Farms. But I knew that we connected for a deeper reason, because she's actually assisting me to become comfortable in all of this, which had been stifled and shut off in me when I was a child. And so I'm really freeing myself, liberating myself, and allowing whatever it is that feels right and comes through me to do that thing. Who am I to get in the way of that? These are gifts these are source energy, and I'm not getting in the way of it anymore. So it's a whole new adventure for many of us, for sure. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Amy says, you all impress upon me with all your wisdom. Thank you all. Yes, all of you, thank you. Justin says, Darren, a lot of Atlanteans went to Ireland and Egypt and recreated technologies lost in the fall, but built the pyramids and stone structures after Atlantis sank. Some of us here now were the angels that worked side by side with humans of our past. Whoops. We now refer to them as aliens, but it was us. Yeah, right, exactly. I agree with that. Now, I've had too many you can't make it up moments to feel otherwise. And I feel into it. It's not a thinking. It's a knowing. It's an inner knowing. Nocnaria is aligned to the pyramids. And there's another interesting, I think I showed it with you, shared it. I can't talk right now with you, Dustin, but a lot of these specific pyramids and things that have always been protruding from the earth are in this sacred flower pattern. You can't see them all, but that also, that sacred geometry of the help me, come back. Oh, I lost it, but it's in a sacred geometry pattern. And now they are actually doing that with artificial towers, putting them in that pattern, and it's interfering with our natural frequency. We have the power to override that, but it's been happening for a few years now. Flower of life. Yep. So interesting. Darren says it's Coast Slingo, then Newgrange, Stonehenge, Rome, pyramids, perfect line. Yep. Flower of life. Yep. And that's where we can get our true energetic codes, downloads, our natural frequency. And it's so interesting how all of these artificial frequencies are in the same pattern. So anyway, back to hold that light and know your energy and what's not your energy. Very important. Very important. Lotus. Very important. We are being called into our soul gifts and whatever kind of training that we're going through. Sometimes when we start to connect to our soul gifts, it's like a child and we need training wheels. We're not quite balanced with them yet, but it takes to open up and allow it. Oh, you're welcome, Darren. You're very welcome. I don't know if I'm feeling called to any other messages. I feel like we are already just here together. Yes, 5G towers are placed in a Metatron's cube grid. Yep, that's what it was. Metatron's cube grid pattern. I'll try, like, maybe we can find that video and share it here. It was like Instagram, I think, so they don't stay. I don't know much about Instagram. Actually, my my brain is just like fried when it comes to that stuff right now. Sometimes I'm really on, and other times it's just like, no. I'm like all over the place. What day is it? I don't know. What time is it? I don't know. And I'm actually good. I don't feel stressed out about that. I really don't. I'm always where I need to be when I need to be there, and the rest, I'm just swimming in this beautiful energy right now with all of you. So thank you all for being here. I think it's time to wrap it up. I hear my grandson downstairs and I want to go hang out with him before he goes to bed. It's 6:16 here. But oh my God, a big gust of wind that just came through. I love the, what day is it? It's today. That's right. I'm telling you, that old calendar stuff is just like, whoosh. It actually, I'm repelled by it right now. Maybe because I know why. I know why. Peace with you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Thank you, moderators, for keeping everything nice and clean, and everybody for connecting. It's beautiful energy. And we'll be back when I feel called to it, I don't know. And again, like, I was trying to keep it consistent with like Friday nights, but I don't know. It's just whenever I feel called now. So gust of wind means confirmation, right? Exactly. It did it. And now it's calm again. It went whoosh. Love it. I love you all so much. And until next time, have a beautiful rest of your day, evening, wherever you are in the world. Sending you all so much love. Holding that light. Holding that light, standing tall in this stream of energy that is flying by, flooding all around. We are all pillars of light standing here, beaming light and love out of us. So much love to you all. And until next time. I love you, Dustin. And Dustin the wind. Bye.